Have you ever had this upsetting feeling that people are watching your every move and waiting to pounce on you when you commit even the slightest of mistakes? Well, Jesus is presented to be in this sort of position in today's gospel. The time is the Sabbath. The place is the synagogue. A man sitting there with a withered hand, and Jesus is entering, walking in. The Pharisees are watching him very closely to see if he will cure him on the Sabbath, so that they might accuse him. And sure enough, Jesus, who sees them and knows why they are there, says to them, "Come up here before us and stretch out your hand." Even if Jesus had the best of intentions of curing the man with a withered hand, people, particularly the Pharisees, took offense at him because, in their eyes, Jesus had violated the Sabbath. However, Jesus stood his ground and did what he thought was truly important: to release this man from his pain and misery on account of his withered hand. Jesus, who had claimed that the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath, went on meeting the needs of those he met along the way, feeding the hungry, assisting the fishermen with their catch, calling out demons, healing the sick, opening the eyes of the blind and ears of the deaf, and even raising the dead. And Jesus did good wherever he went, and his compassion was genuine. In Jesus Before Christianity, Father Nolan makes another remark. He notes that there are no traces of fear in Jesus. The gospel story of today makes that point very clear. Jesus wasn't afraid of the authority present there. He was not scared of scandal. He wasn't afraid to consort with the prostitutes and the unclean. He challenged the authorities of his time. However, his fearlessness made the authorities fear him. They were afraid of his attractiveness to potential followers. And he was a light in their darkness. He gave hope to the least fortunate. And they thought if they allowed him to continue to attract followers, they could lose their own power and control. In his inaugural speech as the first African president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, South Africa's greatest liberator, expressed a similar message when he said, "It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens others. It is the light that frightens others." And where are we today? Are we conscious of those people who are watching us? Are we afraid of displeasing our friends? Are we afraid to identify with Jesus, who displeased authority? Or do we do favors because we love or because we want a return favor? Or in practical terms, do we volunteer at the soup kitchen or take communion to the shut-ins for recognition or because we really love people? Do we participate in the sacraments or the Mass or obey the rules of the church to be seen or out of habit or to come closer to Jesus?